The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a quarterback. The way the game is played, all the responsibility he has, and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This short throw caught by Goddard. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. And for this offense, yellow highlighter around Trent Williams.
As well there should be. A Pro Bowl, all-pro type of a left tackle. So mobile, you could also see him as a tight end. This guy is a terrific football player.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Austin Eckler, and he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Now the starters on the defensive side of the ball for the Ravens. They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it? An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. From the gun, Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. To throw is Jackson, operating from the gun. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 13 carries, 87 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, he could very well be on his way to a rushing title, but guess what? His offensive line, they're meeting separately because they want that rushing title as much as he does, and they want to make sure they get him there.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Really nice pickup on first down, leaves them with 2nd and short, and you figure, let's go ahead and run it again. But, boy, that outcome leaves you in a difficult 3rd down, doesn't it?
Didn't stand a chance from the start. You could tell they were going in the wrong direction. Jackson able to find Isabella. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 29-yard line.
Slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll run on first down. Swift, and he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Seventh play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. On the run, it's Barkley. And an alley to run. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. On 2nd and 12, Jackson has got his man. It's Andrews. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
John Harbaugh going to roll the dice. They're going for it on 4th down.
Switch.
On 4th down, Jackson. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson scoring on the 2-yard keeper as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. And it's caught by Parker. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, 76 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Great corner route there, not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Point after here coming up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded at the 2. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on this.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a second down coming up. These two teams all tied after 1. Shifts by him. He's got Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins.
Missed.
He will not go down.
I think what we just saw there with that fumble return is the increased emphasis on taking the ball away from another team. And no one wants to just fall on in football anymore, do they? They want to take it and try and score themselves.
But when you fall 1 yard short of getting in the end zone, it's a former defender, you know it hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
Not only does it hurt, the laughter in film is going to be intense. You are going to get jumped on for not making it all the way to the end zone.
Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he is unable to get in. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. He tried to break that plane but couldn't get there, and that's going to leave him now at 3rd and goal. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They come out here in the eye. So now it's 3rd and goal. This Raven defense trying to keep him out of the end zone. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Austin Eckler, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. He's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go!
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. So you can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
On second down now, Barkley. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. The Ravens on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Jackson, and it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And that is incomplete here. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
They're going to look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A Miami 1st down, that one going for a gain of 11. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 23 yards on the play.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one. Back to throw here. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. On 2nd down, Eckler. 9 yards on the gain there, and it's going to bring up a tough 3rd and 7. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Here's Matt Hawk now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines.
That's it, baby. We go first.
DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. They go play action now. Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His 5th touchdown now on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. And a connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
54 Mike. You're not ready. You're not ready.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Now an open man. That's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. There's still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. He'll look to throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 22-yard line. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
They cannot hold us down. We're going to keep getting sacks.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
On 4th down, Brian Flores going to call on the field goal unit. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And his kick is good. And the Dolphins have come back now to regain the lead. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped left with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
So he shifts past him, and he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less.
He's got a man, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, 77 yards. And the Ravens have retaken the lead. I know this defense knew it coming into the game, Charles, and they know it even more now. DeAndre Hopkins is a tough cover.
And anytime you see him out there and there's less than double or triple teaming him, take a shot with him. Just what you're talking about. If he's such a tough cover, one guy's not going to get it done. Throw the ball out there. Let him go get it.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Back to throw. He'll get this to Eckler. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on third and long.
Brings up third down. He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up, double up.
This time they stay on the ground, and they will get to him behind the line, but the clock continues to tick down. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. And as you see, they were winners back on Thursday night. 31-14, the final. From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting New York Giants. The Skins trying to finish that one off and claim victory. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And you can see there, it's the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Paris Campbell, a touchdown reception. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns, and he has run for another. As for the call of the second half, we turn things back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch it.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Got a man, it's Brown. And he's got this down to the 35. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Check, check. Watch 54, watch 54. Watch the crowd, watch the crowd. Switch.
On 1st down, Swift. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. On 2nd and 12, Jackson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Mike 52. It's our time. It's our time.
From the gun, it's Jackson. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now it'll be 4th and short.
And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Jackson on first down. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. But with his size coming out of the backfield, usually takes more than an arm tackle to get him down. That's why they like to get him involved in the passing game.
No doubt about it. You saw him running that angle route there. And Catching the ball, and with his size, not often thought to have hands, but we're hearing that more and more. Guys are doing a better job of catching the ball at any size coming out of the backfield because they need to be a full part of the offense.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Under 10, under 10, 10. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Hey, switch, switch, switch. 5-2 is the mic. Mike 5 seconds.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment.
Holding.
Let's see what our referee says. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Let's go, team.
Again, Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Andy Isabella, his first touchdown on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Tucker now for the extra point. The lead up to 11. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure off because they do know that they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown. right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here is Eckler. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. This short throw caught by Goddard. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 41-yard line.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with it. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 13. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
First down. Check out, check out. Check. Crouch. Alert flare, alert flare, flare, flare. Put it to him, check, cover.
They'll run with Barkley. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Check 26, check 26. 90 is a mic. Let's go. Come on. Slam, slam. Hustle, hustle.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45.
Tighten up. Pull it together. Go. Check that. We got Mike 52 right here. Mike 52. Go. Mike 52. Night, sweetheart.
Jackson from the shotgun. Flushed out right. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 38. Going to give this time to the tailback. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at him. We've got him now.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
This is why I've never been a big fan of trying to get too cute down here by the goal line. For every one time something like this works, it seems like it blows up about 10 times. And sure enough, they'll wind up losing yards here.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Saquon Barkley hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as the Ravens push further out in front. They were able to push him backwards on 1st down, but this time he forces his way in.
I wonder if he went back to the huddle and said, guys, just a little bit more help, and I can get it done on this one. Maybe even overruled the play call from the sideline, just feeling like he had that opportunity, and he wanted to cash it in.
Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. They'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Back to throw now on first down. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The Dolphins on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. The hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 33. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He'll look to throw. He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 11.
They're going to look to throw. And it's caught by Parker. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. 2nd and long. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jalen Ferguson able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now Eckler. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
3 down. Hey, check. 3 down.
They'll run for it with Eckler. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens are looking like they're going to come away with a victory. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
no doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Watch the run. He's checking. Crash. Kill.
Alex Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down. A first down carry for Barkley. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Baltimore, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.